a lot of good information so far today, right? You've been talking to people. You've been talking to people. You've been talking to people. Probably even had a few no's. Raise your hand if anyone's ever told you no. Okay, that's not a big deal, is it? It's not a big deal. There's so many people out there to talk to. So you've been talking, and some of your no's are, they're not going to frustrate you, but pretty soon someone says, what's the word? They said yes, and you know what? It's like their hand went up and they said, pick me, I'm in. So then you go, oh crap, what's next? Oh no, someone finally said yes. I can promise you now is not the time to panic, okay? We are going to tell you how to register and go and help people get started with an amazing opportunity. And so what we're going to do is, if you are prepared, then there's no fear, right? So in some of those things that Quila talked about, we're going to talk about again as well. So I want everybody to do this for me. I want you to put up the number 3. There are 3 ways to register people in Reliv, okay? All right, the first one is a paper application. That's called no-tech, okay? There's high-tech, low-tech, and no-tech, okay? And this is a no-tech kind of approach. And so if you like that kind of approach, you can just fill out the application, they sign the dotted line, and you can fax it in or you can snail mail it in. But either way, you can register someone with the company even if you don't use technology at all. The second way is Reliv.com. Now, Reliv.com is easy because you're just going to go to Reliv.com and you're going to click join. Oh, you know what? I'm not pushing my button, am I? Thanks for fixing that for me, guys, back there. So you're going to click join, the top of the page, right, just to the right of the logo, and you're going to select their option. Customer, preferred customer, distributor. Is that simple? Easy, right? Pretty easy to do. In order to register on the website, you have to have an RCN number. So if you're registering for, someone for yourself, then you can register with your RCN number. If they're registering, of course, you need to give them your RCN number. Or if you're registering for someone in your downline, make sure you have their RCN number so that it goes in properly, okay? That would be option number 2. It's pretty easy. Third option is even easier, if you can believe that. Personal website, okay? Who has a personal website in the room? Awesome, lots and lots of people. The great thing about a personal website is that you do not have to have an RCN number because it's already linked to you, it just makes it that much easier to join. So select the options, follow the prompts, they'll get issued their own RCN number, and then they're all in the system. Now, because you registered your new customer or distributor in one of these 3 ways, don't forget, there's 3, then every time that customer or distributor orders from the company, you're going to get paid. They are automatically linked to you. They're directly linked to you. And that's really important because down the road, when you've been in the business 13 years like me, I still have people ordering that I put on the product 13 years ago. So you want to make sure that you register everyone with the company. Now, as a side note, there's another way to register a customer. And the customer can also be registered by calling 1-800-RELIV-US. And then you press the number 2 on your phone. That'll take you to the order department. And you can tell them, hi, I have this new customer on the phone, and you make an introduction, and they ask them some questions, and they get them registered, and then they can place their own order right there over the phone. I love this way when I have a new customer because I love it when the Reliv person on the other end of the line congratulates my new person for being a new Reliv customer. And that way it's not just coming from me, it's coming from corporate. And so when I have a new customer, that's my preferred method. But there are lots of different ways of getting people registered. Now, once people are registered, then It's time to get people started on the product, right? Okay, that's the next thing, is getting people started on the product. So if you are at an appointment and you have product on hand, then you can share product right there. Now, I love what Quila said. I do the same thing. I actually go to my appointments with what I call mock orders. And so I have an order put together as a retail customer for the basic nutrition. I have an order for a 25% distributor, 30%, 35% master affiliate order. And because everybody's tax rates are different, it's important that you either just say plus tax and leave the tax off of those orders, because it's going to be different for every person, or you can estimate the taxes, or you could call Reliv and give them their zip code if you know that, and they could give you an exact total for those orders. I do it the first way just because then I always have them in my bag. They're always ready, and when someone makes a decision, I don't have to panic because I already have the tools that I need to show them all those different levels and what the bottom line dollar figure would be for each of those different orders. So, but if you keep it simple when you're starting people on the product, I think that's a really important thing. Some people, they see the catalog and they want to buy all the products, lots of product. And you know, there's been a few instances where I couldn't talk people out of buying a lot of product, which is not a bad thing for your business, but I let them know right away that it would be great for them to start on the basic nutrition, to keep it simple. Why do you think we do that? Why do we want it to be simple for people? That's right, it's duplicatable. It's cost effective. You know, it's the best way for them to start on the product. It's going to give them a wide variety of results on the basic nutrition. And it's going to cost them the least amount of money, because I always tell these people, I want you to get your results for the least amount of money possible. I want you to fall in love with Reliv. I want this to be something that you can take monthly and that you can share with your friends. So it's important to use your team of support every single day. And I want each of you to do something. If you are serious about building this business, who's serious? Who wants to build it? Okay, I want each of you to call all 5 members of your upline, and I want you to tell them, I'm serious about building this business, and I'm going to be calling you multiple times a day. Okay? And if you do that, they'll answer the phone. Probably every single time. In fact, I'll be like, no, hold on a minute, I'm on the other line. Okay, just a minute. Okay, wait, hold on, just a minute. You know, because you make that commitment to people because they want to build it, and you're going to be there to help them. And if you, okay, now I'm going to ask for your permission to speak very bluntly. Who gives me permission to speak bluntly? Thank you, permission granted. If you don't call your upline, they'll look for someone else. Okay? That's the truth. Okay? We only have so many hours in the day, and we're trying to help people build businesses. So if you want your upline's attention, put them to work. Okay? Put them to work, and they'll work for you, and it will build your check, and everybody will be successful, and you'll all be up here as ambassadors building this company because it's so important to you. Okay. All right, so if you have product on hand, you can just sell the product right then. And I actually have people too that sometimes if I know them well, I might spot them the product if they're going to order a large product and then give me back cans when their order comes in. That's fine. Whatever you feel comfortable with. But product on hand, you can fill out the receipt right there, buy the product, and they can just buy it right off your shelf. You still want to register those people with the company though, guys? You want to still have them registered. Okay? You can also order online 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, and it'll ship directly to them. It's going to show up right at their door. Or you can also fill out a form, fax it, mail it, again, no tech. Just be prepared. So if you're going to use those, make sure you have those forms available. Okay, now the most important thing that you can do, and I think Quila touched on it as well, is when they're making decisions, is to help them make the best decision for them. So sometimes, you have to kind of help walk them through that. But once you know what that decision is, you really do just get them registered and start going. Now, what does go mean? Okay, we've got them registered, right? There was 3 ways, again, to register, right? How many ways to place an order? 3? Do you think we can remember that? 3 ways to register, 3 ways to place an order. Pretty simple, right? Okay, so that should take the fear out of what to do next when someone says yes. So now, of course, we're thinking about go. Go, 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 okay? Go means go, okay? Go doesn't mean stop. Go doesn't mean think about it. Go doesn't mean, I think I'll file a few papers, and I'll get to that later. Go means pick up the phone and call someone. Find out what's going on in their life. Ask lots of questions. I know for me, it's about listening. I'm a talker. I don't know if you could tell that or not, but I'm a talker. I talk fast. I always tell people that's my disclaimer. So, write fast, because if you ask me again to repeat it, I won't remember what I just said. So it's the truth. But just go ahead and help people just get started wherever they're at. And then once you do that, they've raised their hand and they say, I'm ready to go, you're going to do all these things that we just talked about, right? It's IXCAR, right? So you're going to help them by doing good follow-up. Okay, now I'm going to ask your permission to speak freely, because this is the truth. If you don't follow up with people, you cared more about the sale than you did about the person. That's why it's really important to hold yourself accountable to good follow-up. So if that means having an accountability partner or talking to your upline and, making them aware that you're building and that you need their help and that you're not sure how to do follow-up or whatever that takes, you make sure that you keep your promise to those people. If you say, I'm going to call you in 3 days, then you need to call them in 3 days. Put a reminder on your phone. Don't forget, because the most important thing we need to have is integrity in this business. If we say we're going to do something, we do it. We help people get results because we promised we would. We're going to help people build a business because we said we would be there to help them provide for their families financially. And if we all do that, this business will grow to be a billion-dollar company. And we want that. B for Bob in his lifetime. So when you're getting ready to set up follow-up, because I believe that setting up follow-up is the most important thing that you can do. Because if you don't set it up, then you don't feel like you have to be accountable. It's not going to happen. So when people buy the product from me, I say, you bought these products from the company, but you get me for free. You might want to write that one down. Okay? That one has served me well for 13 years. Okay, you bought these products from the company, but you get me for free. And I'm going to go to work for you, and I'm going to do research, and I'm going to introduce you to the neatest people. You're going to love them. And those connections, okay, and Kimberly Burns talked about connect. She did a fabulous job. All of those things that we do to connect, the texting, the emails, the phone calls, everything we do, that's what you're going to do as part of that follow-up process. Okay, so follow up with everyone. You're going to support consistent product use. You're going to ask them, how did you take your shakes? How did you mix your shakes? Because sometimes they'll say, wow, that Energize is pretty sweet, but that Classic tastes really bad. What do you think they did? Do you think they mixed their Classic in one shake and their Energize in another shake? Truly helping people know how to take the products, what to do. You're asking them. Sharing more stories. One of the things that I think is really important, and this is another one of those things that I really believe, is that if you don't, of course you're going to tell people that you're going to do follow-up, and that's, perfectly good. But if you don't have a story on the phone with you when you call them, it's not follow-up, it's checking up. And checking up doesn't count. So being master connectors is the most important thing that you can possibly do there. So what I want everybody to do right now is raise your right hand and say, I will become a master connector. If you will become a master connector, you will build this business. The people that are building the businesses with Reliv are not afraid to say, hold on a minute, let me get somebody else on the phone, or that's a great question. 4 ears are better than 2, let me grab a friend, just a minute. Like, I don't ask permission to put someone on the phone. Okay, this is my business, and I want them to have the best care possible, so that's how I'm gonna do that. Now, I love what Quila talked about, because one of those things, let's see here, let me just, okay, plan the connection, make sure you plan it, make sure you offer your story in return as well when you're sharing stories or asking for stories. Increase people's levels of interest, ask more questions, but always listen. Your customer knows people that you don't know. So make sure that you build relationships with those people and you ask them, who do you know? Who do you know? Because do you know what? One of my #1 distributors in my business is sitting right up here in the front row in a white pantsuit, Jessie Smith. She will be 90 years old this year. I found her because I helped someone who didn't stick with Reliv, who shared it with someone when she was having a baby in a hospital, who didn't do anything with this, ultimately, and who introduced it to Jessie. So you never know who you're going to meet and who people know, so make sure that you ask those questions, because they start to see the business in a new way when they start to think about who they know and how they can also build a Reliv business. Same thing with distributors. You're going to always promote what's next. What's the next system exposure? What's the next level that they're going to be reaching in the company? Where are they now? What do they need to get to that next level? What's the next special event that's going to be in their area? Now, Go is all about ISCAR, like I talked about. So it's doing ISCAR over and over and over and over and over again. So with this, you're going to do ISCAR with each new distributor. These new packets you have, they walk you through what to do with a new distributor. But first, you're going to learn. Okay, you guys are here learning how to do the business. Then you're going to learn how to teach. Then you're going to teach to help people learn. And then you're going to teach. And if you do this and you keep following this, that is what leads to proper duplication. So identify, connect, share, ask, and then register. And to wrap it up with one nice bow, the word is go. Thank you, everybody.